Welcome out, everyone. All of you great decoders around the world, male and female, wherever you're at. My name is Logan. Decode your reality. I'm going to be your tour guide for this presentation. We're going to be taking a look at the sound of crypto decoded. This is kind of my fun way of showing what I feel the movie Sound of Freedom is all about. It is ushering in the age of crypto. So this will be Sound of Crypto Decoded. And big shout out to all of you great supporters of this channel. Here is my Patreon channel. If you'd like to become a member and support this great research, you can find me on Patreon. You just go to, if you just type in your search engine here, Patreon, Decode Your Reality. I don't want to make it be about that, but I just wanted to show my support for all of you great decoders. So those of you that are watching this now, you're getting a sneak peek of this. This is going to be released to the general public later on this week. That's one of the advantages of being a member. You get to see some previews before they come out. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is really what it all comes down to right here. The sound of crypto. You know, and it had a lot to do with the lawsuit that Ripple Labs XRP won on the 13th of July. And how it ties into July 4th, the release date of Sound of Freedom. But notice that right now, if you're watching this in 2023, before the birthday of XRP, XRP is 11 years young. And this ties right into the 11th zodiac sign called Aquarius. And Aquarius is going to be the age of crypto. And this is why you're having all these things, and they're going to be more coming on the world stage, justice being served. This whole movie was about justice, bringing the bad guys to justice, bringing order out of chaos. And if you know what that means, well, you have more keys to the kingdom. But it really come down to the lawsuit that Ripple Labs ended up winning, which was they said, a landmark win. It shot up, soared up, XRP did. But it was on July 13th that this happened. Why on July 13th did XRP win the lawsuit? Well, again, it's tied to the age of Aquarius, which is the age of the Christ, which is the age of crypto. And I'm going to show you how that works as I go through this presentation. So let's first start off by looking at the date when Ripple Labs won the lawsuit for XRP. July 13th, which in Europe, it's written like this. Over in the European countries, the date is written like this. 13 July, otherwise written 137. And 137 is the 33rd prime number. What age was Jesus crucified at again, ladies and gentlemen? If you know that story. More on that in a little bit. So let's keep going. Here's the numerology of the date of when XRP won its lawsuit. 18 matches the word Jesus. The word Christ equals 18 as well. How about that? Do you think that's a coincidence? Do you think man could ever code any of the stuff that I'm decoding? Well, we get some of it right, I believe, but not at the detail that I'm going to be showing you here. But let's keep going. Here's what it looks like on the calendar, July 13th. And I always, as a decoder, I look at not just the common year, but the leap year. Even though 2023 is a common year, we still want to always look at the common and leap together. And we add those up, and we get the number 389. And then we bring that into the string of the golden ratio. Why do we do that? Because the golden ratio is tied to our DNA. It's tied to light slowed down into physical matter. We're playing out the light game, folks. That's why I have been saying this over and over and over. You all are having the Jesus Christ Superstar experience. No one's coming to save you, ladies and gentlemen. You are it. 389 in the string of the golden ratio. Look at where it appears. At the 161st through the 163rd decimal digit. What do you see right there? Well, there's the golden ratio itself, the 1.61, and it's tied to the number 3. 3 is tied to the pulse of light and the transverse electromagnetic wave that chases it. 3's tied to pi, but there's more on that in a little bit. But the 161, 162, 163. And what does that lead to? Right here. Bam! The birth city in the story of Jesus, Bethlehem. Because Bethlehem is 31 degrees north, 35 degrees east. Simple mathematics. You add it up, 66. And it just so happens, boy, what another coincidence, that this element on the periodic table, we're made up of a lot of these elements. Dysprosium has an isotope 163. And it's the 66th element, 66 protons. 66, 666. Jesus was born of a virgin. That's Virgo. Virgo's the 6th zodiac sign. All these sixes. Really, really interesting. Are these all coincidences, I wonder? How about this coincidence? The box office. What Sound of Freedom did in the box office? $163 million. Isn't that the atomic isotope, the atomic mass of the isotope of dysprosium? What if it's stable? Absolutely. There it is. Matching the 66 protons, matching the latitude and longitude of Bethlehem. Why is all this stuff coming out this way? Do you think people are sitting down trying to mock you and pull the woolly over your eyes? That's what they're doing, these people, all that make their movies. No, they're being used, folks. Mankind is being used. That's what's going on. I covered all of cryptocurrency. If you want to know what Jesus Christ and the whole story of that, why that character came on the scene, what the energy is harvesting and putting it towards, it's the age of Aquarius. Jesus came into the age of Pisces and said, my kingdom is no part of this world. Well, you move into the age of Aquarius, that's where the kingdom of the Christ is. Aquarius. And the opposite of Leo, Leo's ruled by the sun. The father of the sun is Uranus. The age of Aquarius is going to be the age of Uranus. That's why we're getting into electricity, the age of electricity. Okay, this is a no-brainer. I covered all this in Crypto Kingdom Part 1 and Crypto Kingdom Part 2. Okay, go check these out. These are very, 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 very important decodes. This is what Jesus Christ is all about. They're harvesting the energy and moving it into, that's why this is called the sound of crypto, because the sound of freedom, which is justice, of course, representing the good guy, it's moving it all and taking all that energy and moving it into cryptocurrency. How about this no-brainer here? So you see, Jim, who they casted to play Tim, they casted him to play this guy right here. Tim Ballard. Tim Ballard was the guy who founded the anti-human trafficking Operation Underground Railroad. Okay, more on him in just a little bit. But they casted him to play the guy, and he got casted to play in the huge movie by Mel Gibson, The Passion of the Christ. He was Jesus Christ. Of course, I mean, look at the initials of his name, JC. Jesus Christ. You think that's an accident? I mean, you'd go back and talk to his parents, like, why did you name him Jim or James? And then where'd your last name come from? How did it come out this way? Well, ladies and gentlemen, these two movies have everything to do with Jesus and the Sound of Freedom and justice being served in the age of Aquarius and cryptocurrency, because February 25th, the release date of The Passion of the Christ, and you match that up with July 4th, which is the 185th day of the year. You take it in simple math, it's 241. And just so happens, it just so coincidentally happens that 241 is the 53rd prime number. And one of the most popular spellings in Hebrew of where people think Jesus came from, Yeshua, is the number 53. Coincidence? I mean, this is lights, camera, action, 56, and 185 is tied to the element rhenium, which is tied to the speed of light. That's what the whole Christ story is all about, folks. Spirit into matter, light slowed down into physical matter. You see the sun right behind them too there? This is all attributing the sun, folks. Anyways, moving along. How about this humdinger? You want to talk about scripted reality? When I show you this, you tell me what you think in your mind. You leave some comments if you want. You tell me how mankind could get this exactly the way this is, let alone trying to cast a movie, cast actors and actresses. Here is who played Mary, the Virgin Mary, for Jesus Christ in The Passion of the Christ. Maya Morgenstern. She was born on May 1st. And then Jim, of course, born on September 26th. And when you do the date-to-date calculator for these two people's births, May 1st, 1962 to September 26, 1968, you get a result of 2,341 days. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a prime number in mathematics. It's the 347th prime number. And you'll notice right there that those three digits are a permutation or a number anagram of the 374. Coincidence? This is not an accident here, folks. This is all, and then you would ask the question, do you think that Mel Gibson, whoever, do you think they knew and he's got the initials Jesus Christ there. She's got Maya there. So obviously Mary, Maya, yeah, okay, great. But the birthdays, to get that right, even, ladies and gentlemen, you have the birth card of Jim Jesus Christ here. He's got the Jack of Hearts. What does the letter J stand for? Jesus. That's what he incarnated for, folks. He's doing his job. He doesn't have a choice in doing his job. He's playing the Jesus Christ character in The Sound of Freedom. He's playing the Jesus Christ character in The Passion of the Christ. And his mother, born on May 1st. What's so significant about this day? Well, you would just go here and take a look at the Illuminati was founded on May 1st. Coincidence? Of course, it's Adam, the first man, the founder, Adam Weishaupt. So many nuggets with this one, ladies and gentlemen. So they casted a Illuminati birthday lady, which I'm not saying she is. I'm not going to say that. But they casted her to play Mary Magdalene, the Virgin Mary, and then birthing into the world the Jesus Christ superstar with the Jack of Hearts, no-brainer, and the birthdays between the two were linked to the God. Who do you think's running this reality? It's not man, ladies and gentlemen. No how, no way. Sorry. So we get into this, Yeshua character again, right? Yeshua being 53 protons of the I. You say this a lot. That's why I say you're the Jesus Christ character. I am going to go do this. I am going to go do that. You see, your mind's not your own. The little voice in your head, that owns you. And the 53 is tied to Yeshua. Iodine through numerology is a 23, tied to the word blood. Tell Jesus, drink my blood, eat my bones, eat my body. Jesus wore a crown, and I'm going to put this in there, and you think about that. Check out Let's Talk About Cloning on one of my podcasts. It's all coming down to this, folks, underground, terrestrials, et cetera, et cetera. But what the humdinger of them all for this, and I don't know if you caught it, was the atomic mass or the isotope of iodine, 126. I'm going to go right back to this slide. And you see, she was born on the 1st. He was born on the 26th. And what happens when you bring the 1 and the 26 together? You get Yeshua. This is the Virgin Mary gave birth to the Christ. And you get the Christ here in the story of Yeshua. Coincidence? But wait, there's more. How about bringing in Mel Gibson and Jose Monteverde, who are the two producers of each of their respected movies? Mel Gibson, born on January 3rd. Jose Monteverde, born on July 13th. And it just so happens, wow, that the XRP lawsuit was won on July 13th. How about that? The sound of crypto. I can hear it now. All this energy, all this talk of this movie. You're not going to see me cheering because it's all scripted. It's all scripted. The energy is being harvested and ushered into cryptocurrency. That's what they're doing with all the energy. Everybody's talking about it. And yeah, get the bad guys. It's order out of chaos, folks. And you're falling for it. Controlled by the same boss. Then you bring in the days on the calendar of these guys' birthdays. Casted the same guy to play the main character, and they have gold as their link. And what's gold tied to? The sun of God, right? The gold is linked to the sun, which is tied to the Christ. It's just so ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. So ridiculous. So let's get into the studio, the distribution of The Sound of Freedom. Wait till you see this shit show. And I have nothing against any religion when I say shit show, I say the movie, the screenplay. It's just, you're in a big movie. This is a movie, man. This is a movie. And then our lives are a movie. We're being watched. We're being used. These actors and actresses get used to do their screenplays, and then we get used to do ours. So they released this on July 4th, The Sound of Freedom. And this is the birthday of the United States, supposedly. But it's this card right here. The Jack of Diamonds. What does Jesus start with the letter? Letter J, maybe? See, Jesus represents the Jack. That's why you're going to see a lot of Jacks this and Jack. How about that great show 24? They casted Kiefer Sutherland, and his name was Jack Bauer. I'm going to show you why the 24. But you see, Angel Studios is a Mormon-based studio because they are all about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Absolutely it is. This is all part. It's a Christian-based religion, which is actually Jewish-based because they all go back to the Torah, one and the same. But anyways, we're going to keep going here. Here are the two brothers that founded Angel Studios, co-founded, Neil and Jeffrey Harmon. It just so happens, did they choose their last name? Maybe they changed it to match up like this. Harmon, 24. Here is the Greek spelling of Jesus, where I feel Jesus came on the scene. The New Testament, Christianity, Jesus, 24. Remember I told you the show 24 with Kiefer Sutherland? They named him Jack Bauer, Jack, the Jacks of the suits. That's how powerful these cards are. Coincidence? They funded the damn movie, man. Or distributed it. Come on, man. Santa Fe Films. I can get into that. That's New Mexico. There's so much stuff here. Here's the founding date of Angel Studios, March 25th. And what card is tied to March 25th? You guessed it, man. The Jack. The Jack of Clubs. We have 3 Jacks now. Jack of Hearts with Jim's birthday, the Jack of Clubs with Angel Studios and their release date, and then the Jack of Diamonds, which was the release date tied to Sound of Freedom, which is just Sound of Crypto. All energy harvesting. That's all it is, energy harvesting. That's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. 24th card in the deck tied to the Greek spelling in the New Testament. I mean, come on. So the Jack of Clubs ends up moving into the Jack or the Knight of Wands. And this can be card 33 or 34 if you just use the Fool as just 0 position. And that 33 is very significant because what was the crucifixion age of the Christ? 33. And then we can bring in alchemy into this, and there's the connecting point between tarot, which of course, I'm sure that the Mormons would say that tarot is from the devil, and the cards are from the devil, but I'm clearly showing you the connection tied right to them and their organization, right to the movie that they distributed, right to the characters being casted to play these. And we're in a movie, folks. You're inside it. It's all entertainment. But there it is, 33, arsenic, poisonous. There's the atomic isotope, 74. Here's the release date, 74. There's on the back end, there's Uranus, because the father of Jesus is Uranus. We're moving into a uranium society, age of Aquarius. It's not going to be anything like the age of Pisces. Here is the location for the Angel Studios, headquartered in Provo, Utah. Uranus. Provo, Utah, the latitude, longitude, 40 and 111. You add that up, you get 151, and just like that, there's Jesus Christ again, hanging around, showing up, knocking on the door. You think this is an accident here, folks? Did they know this? Did they choose this on purpose? Did the Mormons, did Joseph Smith and company choose Utah for their location because they knew that Uranus rules the Christ? The whole story of Jesus Christ is tied to Uranus, uranium, the age of Aquarius. That's exactly what all this stuff means, folks. Harvest. That's why Jesus says, follow me into a house with a man bearing a pitcher of water. No brainer. Luke 22 verses 10. Got to know your Bible. But ladies and gentlemen, it comes down to this. We're inside of a movie and life is about entertainment. Look at this. It's an entertainment company. Which is, what do you think religion is? It's entertainment. If it doesn't get you with religion, it's going to get you with sports. If it doesn't get you with sports, it's going to get you with movies. If it doesn't get you with movies, it'll get you with shows. If it doesn't get you with that, it's going to get you with your personal life, with the company you work for, the car you drive. Life is a movie. Life is all about entertainment. And then we have this 50. In God we trust is 50, folks. 50 is the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz, looking for his heart, looking for love. Here it is. And we now have all the jacks tied to this decode. The Jack of Spades. And this is what it's all about here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to get to the jacks in a minute. I did a decode on Life is But a Dream because it seemingly looks that we're inside the dream of the cosmos. This guy right here wrote the song Row, Row, Row Your Boat, which is what the Masons use as one of their fun songs, right? You'll see that a lot. I'm not saying they're going to use it. Maybe I misquoted that. But you see a lot of that tied to the Freemason family. And that's why I say it's not what you think it is. Of course, Masons use the Bible. Got Jesus in there. Life is but a dream. And you'll see, dream is 16 in numerology. And 53 is the 16th prime number. And we go right back to that most popular spelling from the original Hebrew that people swear up and down where Jesus came from. 53. There you go. Life is but a dream. So are we just in a dream? It's not real. Well, I know it's entertainment. This whole entire reality is entertainment. It's here to entertain you. And then we're entertainment for the god or gods. You're being used, folks, as an actor or actress. Your life is not your own. So now that we have this established here, I'm going to look at this number 50 and I'm going to bring it into mathematics to show you how powerful this 50 is. Remember, in God we trust is 50, which is right on the back of the dollar bill. 50 is the Tin Man. 50 is the amount of Bitcoin that was first done in the Genesis block 0. 50, 50, 50, 50. Bitcoin came out on January 3rd, the birthday of Mel Gibson. Jack of Spades card. This is the January 3rd card on the calendar. Mel Gibson's birthday, Jack of Spades. He's all about justice, Jesus, playing his role. That's why he came out with the Passion of the Christ. This is the Genesis block 0 right here for Bitcoin. We're moving into cryptocurrency, which is Krypton. That's what we're moving into, folks. So this 50 is not a prime number, but let me show you the importance of it. The next prime number in line is the 53rd prime number. So 53 owns the numbers 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, and 48 because the next previous prime is the 47. So we have from 48 all the way to 53 and you add them up and look at what you get. Bam! You get the crucifixion. This is actually tied to uranium as well. Take uranium and you add up the protons of 92 and you add up the average atomic mass of 238 and you're going to get 330. That's the father of the Christ, by the way. Uranium, Uranus, the age of Aquarius. This is huge. This is huge. 5 is all about spirit into matter. 5, the 5th house of astrology is Leo. So here to finish this off, ladies and gentlemen, here are the jacks lined up. We have them all in this decode. Here they are. We have them all. Jim's birthday, Jack of Hearts, Jack of Clubs tied to the Mormons, Jack of Diamonds to the release date of The Sound of Freedom, and the Jack of Spades, which was right here tied to the Angel Studios and entertainment, etc., etc. We have all the jacks during this decode. You add them up, you get 122. And it just so happens, bringing the 122 into the string of the golden ratio, look at where it appears, or it's linked to, the 126. 126, which is tied to the I am that I am, is digit 122, 123, 124. And the 122 is tied to antimony, which means not alone. It's the 51st element. That's tied to the Bavarian Illuminati's founding date. It's tied to Maya Morgenstern, who they casted to play Mary Magdalene in Passion of the Christ. It's mind control, folks. That's why this icon of the all-seeing eye is there, meaning not alone. See, the voice in your head, it owns you. Are we going to get that back in the age of Aquarius? Maybe. Waking up to realizing you're in a movie, that's going to be the truth bomb of all truth bombs. Because we have all the jacks here. That's how important this decode is, ladies and gentlemen. And there you have it. The end. Sound of Crypto Decoded. I hope you enjoyed this one. Big shout out once again to my Patreons. Thanks everybody for all your support, and big shout out to everybody in the Decoded Reality family. Appreciate all the support. And this will be obviously released to the general public a few days after the Patreons. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this, you made it all the way to the end. I appreciate sending you tons of love. My name is Logan, Decoded Reality. Until next time, we will see you later.